since we last spoke, the Champions Cup fixtures are out, and you had a good look at them now. So you start at La Rochelle, Glasgow, back to back against Sale. What have you made of it all?
Well, I think there's only one thing we can say is, we've got to go over there and throw absolutely everything, including the kitchen sink at La Rochelle. Probably a little bit like we did when we went over to Munster. Probably a bit like we did a couple of years ago when we went to Montpellier. You've got to go over there and you've got to establish something straight off. And I know there's tactical ways of getting through it. And people go, well, if you win your home game and you pick up some losing points away from home, there is a reality actually. If you put your foot down, you want to put a marker down, pretty much like Saracens have done the last couple of years. Pretty much Leinster do. You go and you aim to win games away from home. You don't go and hope that you get something out of it. You go there and everything you do in your preparation, everything you do in your attitudinal build up to that game is, we're going to go there and we're going to make the points come our way, and that's what we'll have to do. But it's like anything else. There's some Premiership Cup games, there's some Premiership games. It's going to be an interesting scenario for us. That I think that we're going to be quite a few Premiership clubs are going to be strapping on the armour and strapping on the tin hats and going to war for those first few weekends, because it's going to be a little bit different.
And all three clubs in Europe we've faced before, we're going to find a different La Rochelle to perhaps when we face them in the Challenge Cup. Yeah. Glasgow, we know full well what they're going to be about, and Sale, as you said previously, are one of the toughest teams away in the Premiership.
Well, I think of all of them, in some ways, they're probably the one that's, in some ways, I don't want to say anything, La Rochelle have done it fantastically well the last couple of years. Glasgow, we know, we went up there, the last time we played Glasgow, we went away up there, and they taught us a lesson really. They taught us a lesson on how to prepare and how to win a game of Heineken Cup rugby. But the interesting one in some ways is Sale, because people, no one's stupid. Everyone's seen the level of recruitment they put in there. Half their pack of forwards is likely to change, and they're international quality players. They've brought some real interesting characters into that side, and it's going to be very interesting to see how they settle in, how they combine. And obviously the challenge they can lay down, because they will be expected to lay a challenge down with the squad they've got there. I think Steve Darman's going to find it hard to try and play the plucky underdog, which will make it interesting for the teams who play against them and for them. And in some ways, I think those are almost the most interesting fixtures in some ways, because at this stage we don't really know what to expect from Sale.